Hello everyone, I am Dr. Shubhangi Zatale, an occupational therapist. So this video is about the topic arthritis. So this is only part 1. In the part 1 I involve about the osteoarthritis, and in the next part we will see about the rheumatoid arthritis as well as the occupational therapy assessment and the management for both osteoarthritis and the rheumatoid arthritis. First, we will see the overview of rheumatic diseases. The term arthritis is of Greek derivation and literally means joint inflammation. It is used to describe many different conditions that fall under the larger umbrella of rheumatic diseases. The rheumatic diseases encompasses more than 100 conditions characteristic by chronic pain and progressive physical impairment of joints and soft tissue. These conditions include osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, systemic lupus erythematosus, that is SLE, ankylosing spondylitis, scleroderma, gout, and fibromyalgia. So, what is osteoarthritis? OA, also referred to as degenerative joint disease, is the most common rheumatic diseases. OA is classified as primary or secondary. Primary OA has no known cause and may be localized, that is involvement of one or two joints, or generalized, that is diffuse involvement generally including 3 or more joints. Then secondary OA can be related to an identifiable cause such as trauma, anatomic abnormalities, infection, or a septic necrosis. So here you can see the normal joint structure. So healthy joint is lined by the articular cartilage, that is relatively thin and highly durable and designed to distribute the loads and limit and stress on the subchondral bone plate. So in the osteoarthritis, this cartilage in the joints to break down with the resultant joint pain and the stiffness. OA is basically a two-part process. First is the deterioration of articular cartilage or degeneration of cartilage and reactive new bone formation or bone hypertrophy. So first, the smooth cartilage softens and loses its elasticity, which make it more susceptible to further damage. Then clinical features of OA is characteristic by joint pain, stiffness, tenderness, limited movement, variable degrees of local inflammation and crepitus. OA affect both axial and the peripheral joint. So the most common joints are distal interphalangeal joint, proximal interphalangeal, and the first metacarpal joints of the hand, the first metatarsal joints of the feet, and the knee and hip joints. Pain and stiffness typically occur with the activity and are relieved by the rest, but eventually they become present at the rest at the night also. So morning stiffness lasting less than 30 minutes and stiffness after the period of inactivity known as gelling may develop. So with the advanced disease, patient may complain of the bony appearance of their joint, which is a result of osteophyte formation and possibly a muscle atrophy. Then diagnostic criteria for the OA. The clinical diagnosis is typically confirmed with radiograph of the affected joint, which will show osteophyte formation at the joint margin, asymmetric joint space, narrowing, and subchondral bone sclerosis. Then MRI may be used to improve the diagnostic imaging. MRI is able to more sensitively detect loss of cartilage, osteophytes, and subchondral cysts. Medical management for the OA. OA currently has no cure. Goals in the treatment of OA are to relieve symptoms, improve functions, limit disability, and avoid drug toxicity. So pharmacological treatment may be systemic or local. So commonly prescribed systemic medication include analgesic agent and anti-inflammatory agents. So here I mentioned some analgesic and non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. Surgical management for the OA. Common surgical procedure for OA include arthroscopy, joint debridement, resection or perforation of subchondral bone to stimulate the formation of cartilaginous tissue. Then use of graft to replace damaged cartilage, joint fusion and joint replacement. Thanks for watching. So next part we will continue in the upcoming videos.